Hi guys! So I'm doing a bit of a different video. I'm going to do the 50 facts about me tag. Now this took me, before I'd even started, before I'd even started filming for my YouTube channel, this was one that I wanted to do. And I thought, 50 facts about me, I'll be able to do that easily. No. It's so hard actually. I found it really difficult, and maybe that's because I'm not very interesting. Today on the lips I've got Hypno by Manny with Ofra Cosmetics. I've got a bit of Charmed in the middle as well, but I'm not sure how it's coming off. And I've got them all the 50 facts about me on my phone. I'm just gonna read off my phone. I'll try and edit out the bits where I'm glancing down. So number 1. I was born on Friday the 13th. Ooh. I was a late baby. So I was actually 2 weeks late, so I should have been born at the end of March, but I was born on Friday the 13th of April. I'm an only child. It's just me. Probably a good thing considering how much space all my books take up, which are just behind you there. It was a bit of I wouldn't say a lonely childhood growing up. I'm used to it. I don't know any different, but I suppose that's why I'm such a great reader. My longest relationship was 8 years. I've been a bridesmaid once to my best friend, and that goes on to the next fact. She's been my best friend since high school. We've been friends since we were 14, put it that way. 13, 14. I am obsessed with anything to do with the Titanic. So there is, somewhere behind me there is a Titanic model. I have been obsessed with the Titanic since I saw the James Cameron film. Then it kind of spiraled from there. I've got probably about 100 books or so to do with the Titanic. Fiction, non-fiction, anything like that. I love anything about it. There's just something that has sparked off in me since I saw the film. I also saw the TV movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones, Tim Curry. It's not the best, but it's good. And I will go back and watch Titanic every so often. I saw it at the cinema. I think I saw it a couple of times in the cinema, and both times within about 20 minutes I was like, I need the loo, I need to pee already. I have currently to date 1900 books and counting. I love books. You've probably seen them in various videos. You'll probably see them in a room tour at some point. Basically the whole wall behind you, behind the camera there, is just books. I have 6 bookcases. I have books on the floor down there that don't fit on the shelves, and I should really put myself in a book buying ban because I need to read more. My top 5 favourite films, oh lordy, I would say Titanic, Miss Congeniality, Mean Girls, love Mean Girls, Pitch Perfect. I'd probably say something that, there's so many I can't narrow it down to just 5. I love Speed. Let's go for Speed. So we've got Titanic, Miss Congeniality, Mean Girls, Pitch Perfect and Speed. There's probably more and that changes constantly, but that's off the top of my head right now. My favourite Disney film and princess would be Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas. I will watch it as often as I have the time for. It's the one Disney film I'll reach for. Probably after that would be Brave, and they tend to chop and change. I love Brave, I think it's hilarious. I love Princess and the Frog as well. I've only been abroad a couple of times and I've never been any further than Spain or Gran Canaria. I have been on a nude beach when I was in Gran Canaria with my boyfriend at the time, and we were probably about the youngest ones there. This is not my natural colour. I have been dyeing my hair since I was about 18, 19. I've been dyeing it black. My natural hair colour, the roots are coming in a little bit at the moment, but they're showing up quite light because the sun's shining on them. My natural hair colour is probably brown. Again, back to the Pocahontas thing, since I saw Pocahontas I wanted to have black hair. I've only ever had it black. I did have red put through it at one point a few years ago, like it had red, just kind of low lights through the fringe and everything like that, and it was really nice and it lasted such a long time because my hair was longer. I mean, it's only just down to there at the moment. I love Betty Boop. I have quite a few figurines that are up there at the moment, which are just out of shot. I mean, they're not cheap figurines either. Some of the little ones are. Some of the bigger ones are about £100. My favourite colour is purple and black. I love purple. I get the piss taken out of me at work because I have purple stuff around my desk. I write in purple. I have purple elastic bands. I have purple elastic bands. I have everything like purple. My room, you can just see behind you there, is purple. My bed covers are purple. My curtains are purple. I've got a purple radiator cover. So yeah, purple, purple, purple. I've been in quite a few jobs. I've done waitressing. I've worked in 2 call centres to date. I've been mostly in retail, worked in R.S. McCall's for a period. I worked in Clinton's, which was my longest job to date without any breaks. I was there almost 4 years. I am short. There's no other way about it. I am 4'11", unless I've shrunk any more since the last time I measured myself. I have currently 5 tattoos. I've got 1 on each wrist, 1 on my ankle, 1 on my stomach, and 1 on my lower back. I am planning what to get for my 6th tattoo at the moment, and I keep going back and forth between different ideas. I have my ears pierced twice, and I've got my nose pierced. And the nose piercing was one of the worst things that I ever did because it took ages to heal, and I will probably never get another piercing again because that has put me off. But now it's pretty much fully healed. I will probably do a video about that at some point, just to talk about my experience and show the photos of what it looked like while it was healing. The one book from my childhood, or the 2 books from my childhood, I will always go back to. 2 books, I can't narrow it down, I can't. So Anne of Green Gables, Narnia, the whole series, and Goodnight Mr. Tom, and Tom's Midnight Garden. Those are the ones that I will read, go back to every so often. There's one, I've actually got the Narnia books just behind the camera there. The only ones that I didn't like out of Narnia was The Horse and His Boy. I will quite likely skip that every time I do a reread of the series. I love Michelle Magorian. We first read Goodnight Mr. Tom in school, but I'd already read it by that point, so we were reading like a chapter a day and Michelle kept skipping ahead. Favourite TV shows? Oh, the ones that I will regularly watch are Neighbours and Casualty. Neighbours is the only soap that I watch on a regular basis. I don't watch EastEnders or Coronation Street, anything like that. I have used to, but I don't anymore. The current TV show that I'm working my way through is Heroes Season 4. I have not long finished American Horror Story Freak Show. I love graveyards. I have been a gravestone photographer. I was volunteering for that while I was unemployed. It's a website online, Gravestone Photos. So there's a few on there that I've photographed in and around Queensferry, Kirkliston, Edinburgh. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to do it with a full-time job, so I'll probably drop back into it at some point. But I love doing it. I love graveyards. I love walking around them. I love looking at the inscriptions. I went to college and I actually studied journalism, then decided it wasn't for me, but there were some good things that came out of that. Favourite smell on a man or a woman? Oh, on a man, if you wear Hugo Boss. Ha. Lovely. Funnily enough, I actually tried out the Nivea post-shave balm for men on my face this morning as a primer. And yeah, I smell like a dude. So that was quite good. I love white musk on a woman. And anything that's kind of got that musky scent to it as well. I like that. But white musk is always one that'll take me back. My first kiss was in a field. Favourite actor and actress would be Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, and Angelina Jolie. I've met quite a few authors. I've met Harlan Coben. That was funny. He is so tall and I'm so short. I've met Janet Ivanovic. I've met Diana Gabaldon. John Barrowman. It's quite rude what he said to me. I've had 3 moles removed. I've had one from each leg. I've had one from my jawline. I'm thinking I might need to get this one removed because it started to change. Started to become more pronounced as well and keep catching it. But one on my left leg healed fine, it's just a little scar. One on my right leg was done by the same doctor and hasn't healed properly. Someone was at the door, don't know who it was though. I am a Nando's virgin. Never been to Nando's, never had a cheeky Nando's. Don't know what all the fuss is about until I actually go. I cry at everything. I cry at Neighbours. I cried when Helen died. I cry at YouTube. I cry at adverts. I cry at reality shows. Don't really cry too often at books. I can spend hours watching YouTube. I've only discovered it in like the past year or so, and I will literally spend hours just sitting watching it, going through different videos, going through different people, enjoying it. Favourite song? I don't think I have a favourite. There are some songs that I will listen to over and over and over. It depends on my mood at the time. My first job was a waitress. I was there for 2 years. It was one that was local to me and it still exists but under a different name and different management. I am paranoid about matches. I don't know what it is. I'll light a match and I'll light the candle or whatever it's going to be, but then I either have to flick the end of the match to make sure it's out or I will run it under cold water. I don't know what it is. I keep thinking it'll reignite itself. I also don't like plugs being left switched on when there isn't a plug actually in it. So sometimes you'll see me out in public, in a shop, in the hospital was the last time, and I walked past a plug socket and the switch was on, no plug in it, I switched it off. The worst personality traits I would say are cockiness, selfishness, arrogance. I also would say shyness is quite a bad personality trait, and I'm shy. That's why I'm trying to build my confidence in doing this at the moment. I wore braces for 2 years, top and bottom. Train tracks. I also had the, the one that you put in, the retainer. I had that. So that wasn't a pleasant 2 years. and didn't really help growing up. But plus the bottom row of teeth I managed to push out. So there's a tooth in the front. I was chewing on the end of a pen during school and I managed to push it back. I've never learnt to drive. I keep thinking every so often that I will learn to drive. It would be something that would be quite useful, but it's just the cost. Red lipstick is a must for me. I love red lipstick. I think it really pulls the look together if you're going out or if it's just day to day. I think it's a must have. My favourite outfit. I'm very much into my ripped jeans at the moment with a nice top. I like skirts and teaming that with a nice top. It's difficult to say, it depends on my mood. I repeat phrases that people say and I find myself doing this. It can be certain things that people say I'll pick up on and I'll use that in my day to day as well, and people will be like, where have you picked that up from? There's always one person that, and it is hard to cut it out as well. I will keep saying it. Was like during school I used to say 13 instead of 13, and that was picked up from someone and it took ages to break me of that. I don't drink tea or coffee, can't stand the stuff. I've tried it black, white, grey, milk, no milk, sugar, no sugar, no milk, no sugar, well that's black, milk and 1 sugar, milk and 2 sugars, milk and 5 sugars. No, I don't like the stuff, I never will. I can't swim. I'm not a confident swimmer. I did not like PE during school and I would try my best to get out of it as often as possible. I don't like being in the water. I don't feel confident in the water. I don't like being in the ocean. That terrifies me, being in the ocean. It's a shame because I think swimming is really good, but I've never properly learned. I can get from one end of the pool to another. Width-wise, don't ask me to do a length because I can't. I've never smoked a cigarette and I'm proud of that. I don't like cigarettes, I don't like the smell, I don't like kissing someone who had smoked a cigarette. Thankfully I've never done that. I hope. My parents don't smoke. My friends don't smoke. That's good. I've never done drugs. I've never never done drugs. I'm a good girl. I cannot sleep without an eye mask. I have to have an eye mask, otherwise I don't sleep. It used to be when I would sleep at the opposite end of my room, in the old room tour that you'll probably see at some point. I've got a street light right outside my window and never used to bother me until it started just really affecting my sleeping patterns. Couldn't sleep. Started wearing eye masks and now I can't sleep without them. So no matter whose bed I'm sleeping in, I'll wear an eye mask. I even sleep at the opposite end of the room now. I'm sitting on my bed at the moment. I sleep with an eye mask. My most expensive purchase would be my laptop. That was my most expensive purchase to date, but it was well worth it. I started at the beginning of the year as a New Year's resolution to learn sign language, and I'm disappointed to say I've never got very far with it. I don't know anyone around me who is deaf or who needs sign language, but I found it very difficult. But it's something I probably will go back to at some point. I've got a book about it, so it's just getting started, learning the basics and finding someone who I can practice on. I did 4 years of German at high school and I can remember one phrase. Wann hast du Geburtstag? When is your birthday? Don't expect me to answer you back if you speak to me in German. I can't. My New Year's resolution, along with learning sign language, was to buy less books. and I limited myself to 1 book a week. That didn't work. I've actually said this next one, that's I have at least 6 tattoos that I want to get. I've just skipped one, so don't worry. I've got 6 tattoos that I currently want to get. It's finding someone to go with me to get them, because my 5 tattoos so far, I've never gone by myself. I've never walked into a tattoo studio by myself. I find that quite daunting. And I keep flicking back and forth between which ones I want to get and which ones are the most important. I would really say in the last year and a bit, I've spent the most on makeup that I ever have, and in the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I've probably bought more books than I care to think of. So that's been my 50 facts about me. I hope I haven't missed anything out. I hope it's quite speedy. I hope it's not too boring. I don't know, I've tried my best. I hope you've enjoyed the 50 facts about me. I hope it wasn't too boring, and I hope you've learned some good things from me. And I will speak to you soon, guys. So take care. Mwah. Bye.